Recently, one of the contestants of the ongoing BBA, Kiddwaya's dad, said, children of successful and rich people in Nigeria hardly become rich on their own. According to Terry Waya, most of the rich men in Nigeria pass on their wealth to their children. But it's easier for a poor man's child to rise to the top in Nigeria than the son of a rich man. Do you agree?
For me, I feel that there are many factors. First off, when it comes to parenting, and we see that quite a lot where a person, the parent now, made this money or this riches from working hard. Probably started from nothing. They're the ones you'd hear, I didn't have shoes when I was going to school. I walked a great distance. I made sure I would cut the firewood first, sell it before I even go off to school. And in doing that, this person has amassed a wealth of experience and also understands the principles of success or of money making. But then what happens that you now have children and you just want them to have a pampered life. You're afraid that you don't want them to go through what you remember as stress, how difficult it was. So you're trying to protect your child. And the danger is that in protecting them, they miss the lessons that you learned while you were going through that tough time. And those were the lessons that helped you build your wealth or helped you build your riches. And now this is a child that is pampered, never even goes to the office or to the workplace or involved in the business. You know, the child is at home or the children are at home, they're traveling around, they just know that money comes in when they want, but just how it works, they're never involved in it. So that's one. Then secondly is, the child just feels, you know what, this is not for me. Let's just say, because there's this book I read a long time ago where the father built his wealth from doing like toilets. So it's not a glamorous job at all, but definitely brings wealth home. And your child grows up and like, please, this is not for me, I don't want to be, but instead.
When it comes to BC, your thoughts on this, what do you make of it?
Okay, I sort of believe it because I've seen rich people who are, you know, most of the riches we have in the country are more of first generation. So it's not like the family wealth and they were growing into it and this generation builds on it and the next builds on it. It's just someone who struggles and comes up and then fights for what he wants. So what I see is that because the rich, successful people do not give their children what they call deliberate parenting. So like she mentioned, you want them to have an easy life. You don't want them to go through what you're going through. You are running a business. Your children do not know how you are running that business. They are not even interested. And sometimes they put a lot of pressure on the children. Just give me your grades. I want you to have this. I want you to have that. The children end up with entitlement mentality that everything is at my beck and call. And then they do not build the immunity that you had while you were struggling. And so when things come easy to them, they feel that the world is at their feet and that helps them, or that makes them not struggle for what they want. Let me give you a typical example. Right now, we are raising our kids where we don't let them go outside and play. How many times have you allowed your children go and run tires outside the compound? I grew up, you know, coming from a place where I can go out in the morning and play all around the neighborhood and come back at night and crash. So I will get injured, I will cut myself, I will learn how to defend myself when children are fighting me, I will learn, you know. So it builds some form of resilience that when I come to you and I need you to do something for me and you say no, I don't give up, I go to the next person. But as a rich child, you're not giving that opportunity.
I don't totally agree with you. Let me tell you why I don't agree with you.
Go ahead.
You've seen children of people like Donald Trump. They were born into wealth.
We're talking Nigeria.
No, I'm talking about human beings.
Okay.
I'm talking, this is somebody who, the children were born into wealth. And they were born into that business. And they've been building that business until today. They're still running their father's business easily.
Yes.
Now, the thing is that, when I was having this conversation with my husband, he was saying something that everybody needs a motivational factor that's going to push you to the next level. So the poor man, for example, hunger is a factor.
Yes,
it's a push. You know, poverty all your life.
I don't want to be hungry again.
It's chasing you. But when you now become wealthy, you have the money. What's the motivation for your children?
Yeah.
What are you put? So it's not so much about the tire running or building that resilience.
It's
that
creating
that new motivation factor.